What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. Many of you on the West Coast may not know this, but there's actually a state called Indiana. Really, I'm not kidding. Today we're going to find out about it. So why don't you grab a drink, sit down, and we'll get going. Indiana is a Midwestern U.S. state known for its farmland, the Indianapolis 500, and basketball. The 500 is held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway every Memorial weekend, and this to me has always kind of been the first sign that summer's almost here. Indiana is also the home state of 6 vice presidents, including our current number 2 man, Mike Pence. It is also the only place that I've ever had a 6-year-old girl explain to me how she got Indiana in her March Madness bracket and all her friends are jealous. 6-year-olds' friends are jealous over her gambling. I always thought that was really strange. Indiana is a great state for families, friends, basketball, and jobs. Over the last few years, Indiana has seen an influx of new residents. You might be thinking about relocating right now, but before you buy some Jordans and start looking for a pickup game in Indiana, you should watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Indiana. Number 10. Hoosiers. Hoosier is what people from Indiana call themselves. The origin of the term remains a matter of debate within the state, but Hoosier was somewhat of a slang term for people from Indiana. It got popular after Richmond resident John Finley's 1833 poem, The Hoosier's Nest. Anyone born in Indiana at the time was considered to be a Hoosier. Indiana adopted the nickname the Hoosier State more than 150 years ago. The thing is this. These people use this term about themselves without really knowing what Mr. Finley was talking about. He could have been using it as a word to replace the word moron for all they know. Number 9. What's a vegan? Even though 65% of the state is farmland, Indiana locals don't eat many fruits or vegetables. They have some of the worst diets in the country. They love bacon and anything deep fried. A couple of surveys have found they also have the lowest number of vegans compared to the rest of the U.S. If you move here, expect to gain a few pounds. Number 8. Water pollution. Because of all the farm runoff and the industrial pollutants, Indiana ranks number 1 for having the worst water pollution in the country. Now, this is only good news if you're trying to cut down on your mosquito problem. You know, because mosquitoes are born in water, and if it's too toxic, they might not live. And they're pretty close to getting to that level. If you want to move to Indiana, drink bottled water, or have a decent water filter. Number 7. They're not packing much heat. Condomania recently released some embarrassing data about its customers in each state. They calculated the amount of small-sized condoms ordered from each state. Some of the smallest magic wands in the country are doing their magic in Indiana. Rest easy, Missouri. Indiana won't be stealing your state slogan anytime soon. Stay to the end of the video if you don't understand that joke. Number 6. Divorce rate. Indiana is one of the worst states in the country for marriages. It is ranked 10th as having the most divorces at a rate of 12.9%. I wonder if that has anything to do with that Condomania data. Number 5. It's boring. One of the biggest complaints about Indiana is it's boring. Other than sporting events, they really don't have much that appeals to most people. And before you start telling me about the art scene or your book club, notice I said most people. I'm sure a monster truck pool is a hoot, but not a lot of people are into it. And I'm sure the stadium was packed. Just stop typing. Number 4. Women make less. Women in Indiana earn 74% less than men in Indiana earn. That's 7th worst in the country. Being a farmhand sucks, but it sucks even more when you make 74 cents to every dollar your male coworker makes. I know that's broad stroking the subject, but it's a thing. Stop typing. Number 3. LGBT discrimination. Before being vice president, Mike Pence was the governor of Indiana. He's not a big fan of the LGBT community. During his time as governor, he signed a bill that would allow business owners to deny service to gay and lesbians for religious reasons. To me, that's wrong. But at the same time, if I were in that situation, my feelings would be this. If you don't want to serve me because of who I love or sleep with, you ain't getting my business anyway. So, to me, it's a non-issue. Just kind of sucks that they actually put it down on paper. So if you're gay, lesbian, or anything else like that that's not the norm, you might not want to live in Indiana. But if you are in that situation, you probably already know this. Number 2. Meth and other drugs. Indiana is referred to as the meth capital of the United States. This title was earned because of a 2015 statistic that found that about 1,900 meth labs were seized, including one that was found in a Walmart bathroom. The police were tipped off to the lab because this Walmart was really clean, and all the workers worked really hard and talked a lot. And of course, like so many other states, they were hit hard by the opiate epidemic. So yeah, that's something you might want to consider. Now, to be fair, they've gotten better, but it's still a big problem. This is due to law enforcement efforts and Walmart's new strict policy of no meth labs in the bathroom. And number 1, natural disasters. One of the major issues about living in Indiana is the tornadoes, the floods, the blizzards, and the ice storms. Now, these things don't happen all the time, but for some reason in Indiana, when they get one, they tend to be really bad. Indiana has the 3rd most tornadoes of any state in the country. They also have some really serious blizzards and ice storms. The flooding happens every couple decades, but there's been some really bad flooding there too. If you decide to move to Indiana, just make sure you know about these things, make sure you know how to prepare yourself, and be safe. Alright, so that's the top 10 reasons not to move to Indiana. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit all those buttons. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.